Alright, welcome back. My name is Uncle Jimmy, and you are watching Cooking with Jimmy Part 2. This is my second episode, and today I am going to show you how to make a beef stew within your own dorm at a college. Now, everybody knows at colleges you're not allowed to have knives because they're considered a weapon. And people think, well, since I can't have knives, I can't cut up stuff to make a beef stew. Well, instead, what you can do, you can buy pre-cut stuff already, and it's just as good as if you went and bought it yourself and cut it up yourself. So, and it's quick, it's easy, and it's a lot of fun. So today, all I have, I've got some beef already cut, pre-sliced. Yum. I've got some baby bella mushrooms, again, already pre-sliced. Easy to go. Now, for my vegetables, I have some stewed vegetables. Now this is really good because it comes with potatoes, carrots, onions, and celery already cut up into perfect stewing bits. And again, second package. And the key ingredient to make any beef stew good, the flavor. Now, have all this out of the way. Now over here I have my crock pot hooked up to the wall. This is where everything is going to be made all together to make that awesome beef stew. So, what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to go ahead and start off with my vegetables. Now, when you're starting off, you do not want to put any water in here yet, and you want to make sure your crock pot is off when you're putting in the frozen stuff. So, go ahead. There's one, and as you can see, perfect stewing portions. And place that back. Grab our second bag of veggies. Go ahead and place them right in here. Now, next I'm going to add my baby bella mushrooms. Now, this is quite a large pack, and not a lot of people like tons of mushrooms, so I'm only going to add about half the pack. Now, you don't have to sit there and say, okay, well I got to cut this in half and try to get half. It's just a guesstimate, or an estimate guessed. So, go ahead. Now, the good thing about these mushrooms is, since they're already pre-sliced, they do not need to be kept in a refrigerator either. They can be served at room temperature and kept at room temperature. However, it's best to use them within a week of opening the package. But you don't need to have a refrigerator, so you can make beef stew at the beginning of the week and again at the end of the week. So, I'm going to go ahead and about half. There we are. Now comes my ingredients. Now, this right here comes with 2 packets of flavor, and I'm going to be adding both of them to this. Go ahead and take both of them. You kind of just swirl it all around, that way you can get flavors all around the area. That smells nice. Already smells like a beef stew. And now, the most important part, of course, if any guy's beef stew, the beef. Now these chunks are cut up in a little bit bigger chunks than usual beef stew, but again, it's pre-sliced, and hey, who doesn't like a lot of beef in their beef stew? So I am just going to go ahead and whole thing. Make sure you take out the paper because that wouldn't taste too good. Yeah. As you can see now, everything's kind of all lumped together. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy wooden spatula and just kind of break up everything, kind of get everything all mixed around. Make sure that beef flavoring gets on everything, because you don't want any little bit left behind. Alright, here we go. Now, most important part now is our water. Now when you pour in your water, again, it's going to be another guesstimate. It's going to depend. So, I'm going to go ahead and get everything straightened out, and I'm going to pour my water. And don't be afraid to use a lot of water, because this is going to be a stew, so you're going to want it. There we go. I prefer to have my stuff right about near the top, but not all the way. That way it still has room. So again, kind of mix it just a little bit. There we go. That looks nice already. There. So, now I'm going to go ahead, bring this right over my crock pot. And put it aside. Now, I have a metal lid because, well, let's face it guys, we're terrible with glass. We always break it. So, I instead have a metal lid that fits my crock pot just well. And now, we're going to go ahead and put it on a high setting. Now, that right there took me 7 minutes at most. And it's great because now, I can leave this sit all day, about 5 hours, or possibly 6, depending. You have to check it every once in a while, depending on your crock pot. But just start it up in the morning, come by later, and you can either have a nice lunch, or for that special little someone of yours, bring over to your dorm, good dinner. So, when we come back, we're going to check out how this stew came out. Alright, now, welcome back. It's about 5 hours later after I've got my stew here going, so now let's go ahead and take a look-see at how it came out. Oh, wow. That right there looks excellent. It looks delicious. Oh, look at that. Look how well that potato just melts. Now, that right there looks like is going to be excellent flavor. Now that right there is an excellent stew. Again, took me 15 minutes to put all together. 5 hours later, piece of cake. Right there's dinner. Now, on high setting, it takes about 4 to 5 hours. If I was to put it on the low setting, be safe, it would be more about 8 to 10 hours. Now, a couple of key points. You can use canned vegetables. I wouldn't recommend it because it comes out nasty. Also, just make sure you're using a crock pot. Each one is different and you want to be careful of it. So, thank you again for watching. If you want to see me do any recipes, please email me at cookwithjim@yahoo.com. Thank you and have a good night.